view of things.
I think of when my children were teenagers, they say they're going to scope something out. They're going to take it all in.
We call scope now, as opposed to spending a lot of time saying it's Sarasota County Openly Plans for Excellence. Not only is it shorter, but as the identity has increased, it's gotten easier just to call it scope. Scope gives a certain image of being broad and a high perspective and that kind of thing that I think is appropriate, as opposed to Sarasota County Openly Plans for Excellence. It raises as many questions as it provides answers.
What do you think of when you hear the word scope? One day we had a package delivered to the office, and it was mysterious because we didn't know, who it was from. And then we noticed it said return to sender, and that got even more mysterious because we hadn't sent it. Nobody knew who it was from. So we opened it. We decided to open it, and maybe that would solve the mystery. And sure enough, it was full of little blue scope mouthwashes. Return to scope.
What do you think of when you hear the word scope?
Like a telescope.
Scope on a rifle.
I should know the answer.
Toothpaste?
Toothpaste.
Well, we usually make the joke about we're not the mouthwash. A lot of times people think we're SCORE. We get phone calls for SCORE, which is the Service Corps of Retired Executives, a fabulous organization, but we're not SCORE. So most of us have SCORE's phone number on our Rolodex, so we can pass it out easily.
Well, it is difficult to explain because it just doesn't register with people when you say words like civic participation or social capital or asset-based community development. So if I'm on a plane, and the person next to me turns to me and says, "What do you do?" I have to close my eyes and take a deep breath and think about what I'm going to tell them. And usually I say I'm a bank teller, just so I don't have to go through the whole rigmarole.
What comes to mind with the word scope for you?
Proctologist.
Oh.
First 4 words of SCOPE's mission is to engage the community, where an individual is connected with other people and the causes and passions that they care about, where they do things because they feel as though them doing things matters, makes a difference. In those places where a lot of that's going on, really good things happen. Things like higher test scores in the schools, like less crime in the streets, like less cardiovascular disease, even fewer colds. And this is what the data shows.
And when I first started, people would say, "Well, what do you do?" And I'd say, "I work at a nonprofit, its name is Scope," and they'd say, "What is that?" And I knew we were about civic engagement, and I knew the statistic that if you're more civically engaged, you have fewer colds. So that's what I went with every time. Well, we're trying to promote civic engagement, and if you're more engaged, you have fewer colds. And I think for a while people thought there that I was trying to cure the common cold or, peddle the relief to all illness.
Well, I just hear about scope. I hate to say it, but it sounds more like a soap to me.
I think of medical supplies.
So have you heard of scope before?
Yes.
Do you know what it does?
It kind of engages the community in kind of developing ideas for improving the community on their own and kind of engaging people in that way.